a lot of
You don't know what you
these
don't know.
men, and me included, us fathers, fathers that came before us, and their fathers that came before them, did not have the tools or the know-how of how to speak about their feelings, feel their feelings, and be comfortable with communicating with each other.
What's up, peoples? It's your bartenders, Mr. Z.
And your boy Omega.
Sit and stay a while as Omega and I converse about conversations and their untold power, our personal impacts, the effects of listening, and ways to be an active conversationalist. As every episode, we want to thank all of you for listening. We truly appreciate you listening to our hearts and minds on varied and difficult topics.
Special thank you goes out to our Patreon subscribers for their support of the show. Every little bit helps us reach our goals to invite more high-profile guests and create bonus content.
And if you want to join in our conversation outside of this cast, feel free to hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at HaveADrinkCast, and make sure to use that hashtag HADcast.
Remember, this is always a conversation. If you don't agree, you want to voice your opinions, or even suggest a topic for an episode, feel free to join our Discord as well. The link will be in the description.
And please, if you like what we're doing here, share us with your friends, your family, your neighbors. Hey, maybe recreate our sound studios and shoeboxes, then randomly gift them to strangers without telling them anything about it. No? Oh, wait. Well, your referrals mean a lot to us, as that's how we gain more listeners. So,
Thank you again.
and get prepared to sit
Think.
and have a drink.
Welcome to Have a Drink Podcast. Enjoy the episode.
We said peace. What's up, peoples, and welcome back to another episode of the Have a Drink Podcast, where we invite you to sit, think, and have a drink. We're your bartenders, Mr. Z.
And I'm your boy Omega.
Hey.
Hey-o.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Got that good smile on.
I've been using Colgate a lot more.
Hey, I need it.
Oh, man. Welcome to another episode. We miss you guys. We love you guys. How are you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing well. Sorry, my voice sounds a little off today. I was eating a salad, as I do often, because I'm vegan. And a piece of lettuce went down my windpipe and it's kind of still there. So, he'll drink to that. So will I.
That's what you get for being one of them salad-eating chicks.
It's good for my figure.
Oh, well, in
Round.
that case. Crazy, man. You crazy. I just want to say I am truly blessed to be here this evening to talk with you again. Why do I feel like I'm back in church at testimony service?
Hey, for real.
But
Something tonight, I should have had a Honda.
I mean, but it's true though. It's true though. I really am. I'm really blessed, you know. And the reason why I'm saying it like that is because today. Was that your organ part? Was that you playing the organ? Because everybody else is going to just think you was having a Tourette moment.
No, I was about to do it a couple more times. There's just one.
Well, today.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I know these people is like, man, will y'all stop acting stupid and talk? The reason why I'm saying this is because, like how most of our viewers have heard already many times before, you know, this show came about just off of conversations that we used to have all the time. And one big thing that was brought to my attention today through conversation, actually with my barber, by the way, he's the one that's got me fresh to death, ready to be dressed to impress. Hey. DJ Zoe. He's a great photographer as well as a DJ. This young brother, he's my barber, and I've been seeing him for the last few months now. And it's weird because he's the one that's been starting to call me OG. And at first, I fought it tooth and nail. I'm like, yo, I'm only 36. I'm too young to be called an OG. Like, what's up with that? Until I started to realize it's not about the age that they're talking about. It's about the knowledge and the understanding and the trust and comfortability that they have when speaking with you. You know, they don't just call anybody OG. You got to have some type of respect to be considered that. And
Absolutely.
it was a very amazing conversation that we had today, on top of many of other. But we're not going to go too deep into the conversation we had today. But I just want to talk about impact in conversation and what we don't realize, the type of impact that we have on others just through a true heartfelt conversation that we have with them.
Mm.
I've learned a lot of that from speaking to you, and vice versa, right?
Absolutely.
And that's something that really, really, really sticks with me. And like I said, he calls me OG. And today he's like, man, I just get really excited whenever I see your name pop up to come in and get a haircut. And I'm like, he's like, I look forward to you coming in and getting a haircut. I'm like, really? Why is that? He's like, every time you come in here and you leave, I leave with something. He's like, you impact me so much. And he's like, you brought something to my chair, to my barber shop, because his shop is at his house. He's like, into the shop. He's like, even the other people around that come in and they're in here while you're in here, they leave with something too, to the point to where they ask about you. When are you coming in? Or how are you doing? They're like, how is OG doing? And stuff like that. I'm like, what? Really? Why? But I don't think about that. It's just, I'm just talking. I'm just imparting not so much just knowledge, but just listening and guiding the way that I needed and wanted,
Yeah.
And today really hit differently for me because of that, because he was like, like my boy from Syracuse who was here, because he's from Syracuse. He's like, he was asking about you. He's like, how's OG doing? And I'm like, he asked about me. He's like, man, he always asks about you. And he's like, because the words that you said to him while he was here in the brief 2 haircuts that he's seen you, he's like, he left with so much. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And like my cousin Joey, you met my cousin Joey, DJ J Wells.
Yep.
He's been teaching my barber how to DJ, like even before I met him, right?
Nice.
Yeah. So it's like, and he's like, he's your cousin? I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, that makes so much sense. I'm like, why? He's like, because you two are so much alike. He's like, you two have this energy about you. You guys are so humble and so chill, but you guys have so much to talk about. And you guys have done so many things where you guys rightfully have the reason to be cocky or crazy or whatever, but you guys are the complete opposite. He's like, it's almost annoying at how humble you guys are. I was like, nobody's ever told me that before. That's, and I'm like, that's cool. I was like, well, I appreciate that. But it's like the way we are is the fact that we just love people and we want to see you grow, and we just want to be the light that we always envisioned that we needed. And he's like, bro, like, you don't understand, like, the advice you gave me, and when you even made that happen, he's like, other people have been talking to me about it. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, remember when you sat in my chair and you were telling me that I should have somebody DJ while I'm cutting hair and just creating that environment for people to be there? I was like, yeah, I was telling you that. He's like, yeah. He said, people are still talking to me about that haircut session and how live it was. And they were trying to find out about Joey, and I was like, that's because people are drawn to you. And if you create the atmosphere that makes people want to come in, your business is going to blow up. I'm like, you don't need a shop, bro. This is your shop. Build on it right here. And this is what I did with that, right? I had a haircut before I had to leave for Connecticut. I talked to my cousin Joey, because we were very, very close. And I was like, yo, this is the day I'm getting my haircut. Why don't you come in? He's like, all right, bet. So my hair appointment was at 9. He set his up for 10. I didn't tell my barber. And the reason why I didn't tell him, because, well, obviously he has a schedule because we book it on Booksy. But he didn't put 2 and 2 together until we were already in the seat. And I said, I was like, hey, I'm going to stay a little bit while after my haircut. He's like, oh, yeah, why? I was like, because I got my cousin coming. He said, wait, Joey's coming here? I was like, yeah. And then he thought about it. He's like, oh, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I said, hey, show me what you've been working on. And my barber, because he put my face mask on, he starts DJ. And then my cousin hit me up. I was like, I'll be right back. I went downstairs and got my cousin. So while my barber's DJing, I went downstairs and brought my cousin up. So now he's DJing in front of my cousin because he's so worried about doing that, he would never do it until I forced his hand and had him do it.
Right.
Because sometimes I was telling him, I was like, bro, you just got to leap. Just leap. Don't take the stairs, bro. Just leap. He's not going to down you. He's going to pick you up. He's going to lift you up. He's here for you.
Absolutely.
And Yeah, I could tell he got nervous. He played for like 5 minutes once Joey got in. Then he got off the deck. He's like, oh man, all right, let's get your mask off. I'm like, all right, bet. And then Joey brought the club to his house. And then he had
Mm.
3 clients come in while my cousin was doing his set in his
Oh,
house. These guys was like, yo, like, what is going on in here? This white dude walks in and was like, what is this? Pulls up his phone, goes live,
right.
and they start going live.
Oh,
And they're
shit.
videotaping and they're talking about it. I'm like, this is the thing I'm talking about. You want this? You got to speak into existence. We're going to make this happen.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of that I learned from you, speak it into existence and make it happen. So, I'm imparting your wisdom that you imparted on me. I'm sharing that same thing. Bro, when I tell you, it was literally the club in the shop at that moment. They're like, yo, but can you do some, you got any African beats? My cousin gave him that look of, do I? Does a whole Afro set. And this dude was like, this is crazy.
Nice.
And then Zoe was like elated about it. And then, day's done. Me and my cousin leave. Everything's done. Everybody's talking about that moment. People that weren't even in the shop are talking about that moment because they went on live and they watched this on live.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, it's crazy. We were just talking about this. And then you make it happen. I'm like, you made it happen, and this is all through conversation, changing lives through conversation, So this is just one little thing that's happened. I mean, so I just want to talk to you about what is your thoughts on conversation with people and helping them to realize and figure out their dreams or how to navigate through life just through conversation with you. How has that been?
It's actually really funny you bring that up, that you bring up this topic for us tonight, because of how, energetic or enthusiastic I am about things, people usually make an assumption about me that like I might not be as grounded as I am, whatever that means. I feel like they might the way it comes off is as immature or inexperienced or something, just because I have so much joy for the things that I'm doing. But I mean, when I really get to have conversations with people, I've kind of slowly watched their perception of me change. It's interesting because if I'm being honest, I was talking with Larry or Lawrence the other day, and shout out to Lawrence. Appreciate you, brother. Day one.
We love you.
Yeah. So I was having a conversation with him, and he was like, my first impression of you, when we met was like, when I asked you, like, oh, what kind of dancer are you? And you were like, and you said, oh, I'm an all styles dancer. And he's like, oh, he's a choreo head, and just kind of like left me off at that. It was kind of that sort of interaction. But then, he's seen me dance a couple times, and he's seen me actually like dance in these styles a couple times, like he labeled me a flavor head. I like it. And so like, just within these different styles, like I'm just adding my own flavor to it. And then, when we really started talking about things, we started like, conversing about being open about our lives, our lifestyles, whatever it is that was kind of going on for us, and just our thoughts and opinions on things. He told me about his evolution of, of that view that had started, and it's so funny because, I mean, I've mentioned it in an episode before, but like, the power of conversations, it can help make someone's day more tolerable.
Facts.
Maybe they were having a shitty, horrible day, and that conversation allowed them to release some pressure, of whatever it was they were feeling. Like the story I'm referencing that I mentioned before is like, having someone while I was at work, and they just kind of like walked up to me and they told me about how their dad had just passed away recently, and they used to bring them to games and et cetera, et cetera. Well, like, funny because that sort of ability that I have passes on into today. Even when I was dropping, my tiny humans off for school, there's another mom, bless her heart, she was looking like she needed to talk to somebody, And I'm not gonna like air out this woman's business. I'm just saying, like, she looked like she needed to have a conversation with somebody. She needed to have connection with someone outside of her home. Like she has, you know, family at home, kids at home, spouse at home, et cetera, et cetera. But it was just like, there's somebody that I just need to connect with for a moment. And like, I guess my ability, even with a mask on and my glasses up and, you know, me just being like, okay. Oh, I love you too, buddy. Oh yeah. It's going to be an awesome day. You know, whatever it is, you know, she found a way to like, I feel safe enough to tell you that this is what's going on,
Right.
you know, and this is what has happened to me. And I, in that moment, I was sharing this. I in that moment made a conscious decision of like, oh, I can share an experience that I had similar to the one that she had shared with me. But then I felt, you know, she just needed to have a conversation. She needed to just let it out. And so I was just like in that mindset again of like, okay, I guess this is where I'm at. Wow, that must have been hard, scary. Like, oh, you know, like commenting, being there, actively listening and actively participating in the conversation, you know, and then you can kind of see at the conclusion of this conversation, her be a bit more comfortable, be a bit more light, you know, didn't seem so like rigid about what she, you know, the way she needed to feel or look or what have you. It seemed like she like let some things off of her shoulders. But I feel like I only hear the nuggets of knowledge and those depths of conversations that we usually have together that you share out in the world. But I usually hear that feedback from you. You know, because like I said before, you know, the whole idea of starting this podcast, what was in my way in my mind before was like, oh, who wants to even hear my opinion on this thing? You know, it's because the feeling like my opinion didn't matter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then us really being able to just dive into how we're thinking and feeling, like it's given that space, you know, for us to grow those seeds of knowledge, grow those cubes of knowledge and be able to pass them out to others. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of things could be changed if we really had conversations where we actively listened and actively cared about what the other person said.
That part. And I'm so glad you said that, because today he brought that up. Not in those words, but he's like, you really listened to me. That's what I heard. It's like I feel comfortable enough to really talk to you about my real life and what I'm really going through. It's like, because you really listened to me and I feel like you understand me. And I'm like, that's what it is, man. And it's like, for some reason, like every other, like every few moments or when I'm talking to him, he's like, man, I was thinking about that. Man, I was just talking about that. Man, he's like, this is crazy. And I'm like, I know your heart, you know, and for him to really ask me those real deep personal questions or just to open up about his life beforehand was very, very, very amazing. And it showed me my purpose on this earth through conversation. It showed me my purpose, you know, and I really feel that, you know, it's like I am in no way, shape, or form a perfect person. I'm a very flawed individual. I am not certified. I am not a certified therapist, but I am a person in the community with 2 ears to hear, one mouth to speak, and an open heart to love with.
I love that. I mean, I feel that, like, you know, I also like to, you know, say that I'm fallible. And, you know, I'm not an expert in psychology. It's just I've studied a lot of different things, but like one thing that I've studied the most is just people. You know, I pay attention and if I can give my attention to somebody who needs it, then it's worth it. So I feel that 100%.
Yeah.
You know?
Isn't it wild at how people will let their guards down and just speak? And all you got to do is just listen. Just listen. That's it.
Really?
If anybody can listen to this show today and pick out anything. All I want you to learn to do is to listen to understand and allow them the space to be heard.
Yes. Listen to understand, allow the space to be heard. Those, like, if you think about all the problems that are going on in this world, if you think about all the disagreements, all the butting of heads that happen over politics, over a sports game, over whatever it is, people are constantly, I mean, I even said this today because I was talking with, my son's mom, and we were, she was just like, you wear a sign on you somewhere that just, tells people to come, it's okay to come talk to me. I'm like, see, I told you, it's an ability. It just happens. But
100%.
I was telling her, people, like I said a second ago, people are often waiting to respond with, they tell you about their situation. They tell you about something they've gone through. And then, the other side is just immediately ready to be like, oh yeah, I went through the same thing. I went through this, blah, 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 blah. And then they tell you exactly how they went through it. And I mean, don't get me wrong. There are different kinds of conversation styles. Some people like to converse by connecting with you through shared experience. Oh, you've had something like that. I can understand your plight by sharing something similar that I've been in. Don't get me wrong, that happens, but it's something that we're not realizing is everybody really wants to just be heard. And like you said, they want to be listened to, to be understood, and then just to be heard. It's, if you're having two people in a conversation trying to do that, no one's going to hear anyone unless one person, notices it and is like, oh, this person just wants to be heard. Okay, I guess let's just take this moment to listen to what they're going through, because people have been, especially now, people have been going through, all sorts of shit.
Facts. And that's another thing too, is with that have been said, is learning how to listen. It's important. Read books and learn how to listen. And that's something I've been doing today. This morning, I started my day, how to talk to anyone. And I'm going to tell you one thing that it did say in this book, that it was pretty awesome. What follows the high? And I was like, that's interesting. And it says, take consolation from the fact that the brighter the individual, the more he or she detests small talk. And some people get so uncomfortable with small talk, they feel like they have to relate to it immediately and add to it and make it relatable to them. And it's like, you pretty much just disregarded everything that was said.
I feel it.
Because you're afraid of it. And it's like, it's not small talk. It's just a moment for you to listen. Sometimes you just need to listen. That's it.
100%. If I may throw a book in there as well, it's kind of funny because I've referenced this book before. The book is called How to Talk So Kids Will Listen, and How to Listen So Kids Will Talk. And that, my friend, has been a golden key in how I communicate with individuals, like people from adults. Like, I used the strategies and the conversation style or the listening style on adults before I even used it on my child, and it worked. Like, it was insane how simple it is to just a little bit of reframing, a little bit of mindfulness in your communication, in your conversation, can help with just saying, oh yeah, how to talk so kids listen, how to listen so
I
kids
was
will
listening.
talk.
I promise
great.
you. I just wanted to get that book.
Absolutely. You will love that book. It is a fantastic read. And it's amazing just like how a little bit of mindfulness can get you, so much headway into being a part of a conversation, being a part of something with someone where they can leave feeling like their heart has been heard. They don't feel like they're carrying that weight of no one cares about what I'm trying to say. Nobody's going to want to hear what I'm saying, my opinion. They're not going to care what I have like deep in me that I want to share with the world. When in fact, you know, if people are going to care, they're going to care.
100%.
They're going to listen, you know, but it just takes that little bit of, like I said, that mindfulness, that second, that pause. You know, there was a past bar guest, actually, Kelly. She it was something she had said, you know, and it was funny because I've come across this in like a lot of my spiritual studies and all of that is like how to change certain behaviors or things that you perceive as, you know, negative or toxic or whatever within inside yourself. It takes that moment to be able to change that. You have to first recognize it, and once you recognize it, everything can change. You're now making, whenever you're in those situations, whenever you're feeling the need to talk, you know, over and just share your full long-winded experience after someone has just shared something to them, you know, like you have that moment to be like, wow, like you can stop yourself from like blurting out that thought and really taking a moment to actually think about what they just said.
Are you saying self-regulation during a conversation?
Yes, I am. I'm talking like sometimes it's not even just during conversation. It's self-regulation.
That's beautiful.
In life.
You know, that's something that I feel a lot of us, because I'm not going to say that I don't do the same. A lot of us tend to do, and that we need to do. And I have to say the person that brought that up for me earlier in my life was my mother, because she actually made it to where I felt uncomfortable talking about my own achievements or my own life or what's going on with me. And I say that because, like, even now I don't know how to take compliments or when people tell me things, because my mom made me feel very uncomfortable. She said, do you always talk about yourself to people? Because that makes people not want to talk to you. And I was like, it crushed me to the point where I was like, I'm not important. I don't want to talk about myself, you know, and words matter, you know?
Yeah.
So,
100%.
And I'm saying that because it was like, when that right there told me to self-regulate myself and how I talk. That told me, don't talk about yourself anymore. It's not about you. So a lot of times that's why I'm like, oh, that's enough about me. Or who cares about me? Talk about you. Let's hear about you. And that's what that's seated in, that self-regulation.
Right. It's actually quite interesting that you know, that's the direction that, you know, your mom went with you, when in actuality, sometimes the best way to have a conversation is to ask someone about themselves. I'm going to say I also am an individual who I can't do small talk. I am so uncomfortable when it comes to small talk because I don't know what to say. Like, like if the conversation is relying on me to keep small talk, the conversation is not going to happen. Like, then we just going to be sitting in awkward silence. But the problem is the silence is going to only be awkward for you because I got a lot going on in my head. Like, there's a lot of noise happening in here. So you just going to be confused as shit while I'm just like, la, 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 like singing a song, writing a movie, whatever it is.
We were having a conversation right now. We weren't saying it. No. Me, myself, and I, we were having a conversation. You interrupted.
Bruh, that has happened so many times.
Excuse me,
like,
stop talking
seriously.
to me. We're conversing.
But yeah, like, you. Wait, 1 second. Why? Hold on, we're almost done. You know, like, it's, you know, I like I said, like, I'm one of those people that I just can't do small talk, but that's just because I don't want to have small talk. If I want to talk, like, I have always loved deep conversations because I couldn't, that's why we connected, because I just couldn't sit there and talk about something I didn't actually care about, you know? And I spent most of my time watching people around me, because moving from school to school, trying to make new friends, being in new friend groups, I would have to jump into whatever pop culture, whatever new social, you know, trend was happening in that area, because mind you, social trends and pop culture are different depending on, even just in California, whether you're in the Bay Area, whether you're in SoCal, or whether you're in Central Valley. Like, seeing those things change, I'd have to like sit and listen and adapt. And I mean, much like sports, I can bullshit my way through, but like if I really don't know or have like a true heart behind it, then I'm really not going to want to talk. Like, I'm not going to say anything. I've wanted my whole life to be able to just talk about life, philosophy, the possible existence of magic, aliens, like everything, not things like, and then I wanted to talk about our existence, our purpose in life, how we deal with these emotions that we feeling other people's emotion, like so many different random layers of things, and like, I always found those growing up with individuals who seemed shy or reserved. I guess I would say I really found camaraderie, and I found, the depth of conversation with individuals who were reserved with their minds, when they're reserved with their speech, like, I'm paying attention all the time to what's going on with people. I'm just choosing to live in a different way, where I'm more, I'm an extroverted introvert. Crazy, I know, to hear me say I'm an introvert, but like, I'm very extroverted in certain actions, but like at the heart, like, I'd love to be just by not necessarily by myself, but just like at home chilling. And actually, I'll put that back in. No, by myself. Like, I don't mind being by myself because I've experienced what that's like, and I've asked myself these questions. Like, we've talked about so many things. We talk about it here on the podcast. My long-winded ass answer.
It's good, man. It's good. I mean,
I got a question for you. Besides, going to find a book, and reading like the references that we've made thus far, what advice would you give someone in order to be able to converse in such a way where you are listening to understand? I know we've said that phrase. We've said that, before, especially during 2020 summer, protests. We said a lot of that, but like, what does that actually look like? Because these are conversations that we're having, like the various levels, from extremely hard conversations to just below the surface level conversations.
I would say ask questions after they've answered the question that you already asked. So and I mean, on the same subject. So let me just say, like, always continue to dig deeper to try to find the root of it. So that's what it is. So it could be something very simple as, Z, how was your day today? What was good about your day today? What made it good?
I got to spend time swimming with my kids and playing.
Awesome.
And splashing each other.
Do you guys swim often?
The kids, actually, they swim a lot more than I do. Just because a lot of times I'll be working in here on the office, or, I'll be out there around them while they're swimming, but I'm also kind of working on the side, and I'm just enjoying watching them more than being feel like they in get the pool and
a little
active.
Bit louder or more excited when Dad joins them in the pool? Yeah. How does that make you feel when you feel that energy go up a bit more? Just because you decide to get in the water with them.
I mean, it fills me up. Like, I feel happy. I also am like, oh boy, that means Dad is going to be jungle gym for the pool, or it makes me want to challenge myself to be like, hey, how can I make this time in the pool more exciting than last time? Because last time they were playing, like, I had scars on my shoulder to prove it, because they were climbing up me to get to the top of my hand, and like, I would shake them off and they would fall into the water, like, and I would do different things depending on how far they could get. That sounds like an
amazing memory you just created.
Or how long they're hanging on.
More so not just for yourself, but for them, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Right.
Now, what I just did right now is I went from a simple "How was your day?" all the way down to you talking about creating memories with your sons. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Asking questions wants to dig deeper.
You
Always.
can always look deeper.
Always. And
You can
that's just
always
my
dig deeper.
suggestion. And I didn't even want to just suggest it, but I wanted to show it. Just keep digging and just keep on digging, keep on digging.
Mm.
Because you know what? Sometimes we get so caught up in this rat race called life, and we focus so much on the bad. The 3 or 4 bad things that happen, we forget about the 100 great things that happened around us. Your bad
Absolutely.
day could have been my alarm clock went off and I slept through it. But you didn't realize the fact that you drove to work and there was a car accident that happened on your route to work. Whereas if you would have answered that alarm
Yep.
and been on time as usual, that accident could have been you. But you're not thinking about that. You're thinking about the fact that you're late to work. That was a blessing in
Yep.
disguise that you didn't realize. And I'm not saying that car was you. I'm saying that car could have been you. And that's why I ask these questions and try to get there. And if somebody has a negative outlook on it or they don't have an answer, then I try to figure out, okay, yes, you're right. You woke up late. You're right. That happens. Are you feeling okay? Is there a reason why you woke up late? Was your body just in need of some real rest? Did you stay up late for a reason? And just keep digging on that and try to figure out why. And let them know, you know what? Maybe your body just needed that extra time.
But don't forget, I do want to interject, don't forget to not problem solve for individuals. Just listen, because a lot of times people just want to be heard. Sometimes they just want to emote. Sometimes they want to just feel. And I'm not even going to lie. This is something that I try to, work on because I have a habit of because of how much we talk about things, I can kind of see the line of oh, this is where point A is, and this is where point B is that you're at now. All you have to do is just add C, and you'll be fine. And that's not what people want to hear, and it's hard because I have to remind myself because I just do it subconsciously. I'm oh, this is your issue right here, and they're it's not what I was trying to say. It's the video, the nail in the head. It's not about the nail. It's about the feelings behind the nail. It's about the experiences that they're having because of that nail and that they want to just feel.
And sometimes even with that, to kind of dig deeper on that is sometimes when you ask those questions, you help them identify what those feelings are because sometimes they don't know what they are. And that's why it's important to ask those questions. It's not always about you trying to solve it. It's just you trying to get them to find their own solution on their own. Or not even doing that, but just getting them to open up and just talk out their feelings and feel their feelings and be comfortable with feeling those feelings. That was something that came up in our conversation today. And I told them, I was yo, feel your feelings. Your feelings are valid. It's okay. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be uncertain. It's okay to not know what's going to happen. It's okay to question your relationships. Feel those feelings. Feel that uncertainty. And it's okay. I was bro, take a walk and feel those feelings. Don't just burn up. Don't just blaze up and try to mask and cover up those feelings. Take a walk and just feel those feelings. Think about it. Talk to people. Just talk. You never know. You might figure out your answer, or you may figure out that you had more questions than you had before. Either way, at least you're not sitting there stewing in your own misery, but you're processing your feelings. And that's important, and I feel like that's something that I'm not trying to make everything about being black, but a lot of black men don't know how to do that. They don't know how to feel their feelings. A lot of black men don't know how to talk about their feelings.
I feel on a level, a lot of men in general don't know.
Men in general.
Absolutely. It's something it's the reason for a lot of wars. It's the reason for a lot of the bravado that some men hold on to. It's because they're not taught that it's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel, vulnerable, because that
Hmm.
vulnerability is going to lead you to your strength.
And
You know, you don't
and
usually see
I
that.
don't like pointing fingers. You don't know what you don't know until you learn that you don't know it. So a lot of these, yeah, and a lot of
You don't know what you
these
don't know.
men, and me included, us fathers,
Mm,
fathers that came before us, and their fathers that came before them, did
hmm.
not have the tools or the know-how of how to speak about their feelings, feel their feelings, and be comfortable with communicating with each other. Because we're taught to suppress and move on. We're not taught to speak and work it out. We're taught to suppress and move on. And that's where we have an issue. So our forefathers and our ancestors.
You just suck it up. Like, you be all right, you'll be fine. Like, wipe off your tears. You don't need to do that. You know, I remember, I'm like, I
I
don't
do.
really remember anybody's telling me stop crying.
Yep.
You know, that boys don't cry. Well, I think I just kind of like pushed it out of my mind because I think it was contrary to my personal experience. I was just like, well, I mean, I cry. Like, I don't get what you mean. I cry, you know. I'm vulnerable. I have these feelings, and I just remember just being, I don't know, maybe much like you. After that, you know, just afraid to be my fully myself for a bit. You know, fully into the emotions, fully into emoting whatever it was that I was desiring to do. But like having a mom who nurtured having multiple emotional experiences, you know, I think that helped me hold on to
Yeah.
just being that part of myself,
And that's important.
you
That's
know,
important. And
using it
the
later in life.
identification of that is important. Man, I'm telling you, man, like this conversation is so on time. You know, it's important that we talk about these things and open up and just provide a space for us to have these conversations. And it's just simple. It's so simple. I mean, and I say that knowing that I have the skills or the ability, just like you do, and it's not simple for everybody, but I can definitely say that one thing that is simple is this: making yourself available to just be there. That's all you got to do. Just make, and I know some people are like, well, why do you say that's
Yes.
simple? It is. Just listen. Sometimes you just need to just be there. If not in the flesh, just over the phone and just be there. So feel, they feel like they're not alone. They feel heard. They feel support. Because we all don't have the answers,
Yes.
but we all can listen to the problem and hopefully find it together or find it within us.
What time is it? 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 Time is it? Hey,
Hey-o.
it's Black on Business time. Hey.
So today we're going to be talking about my barber, who's got me looking fresh to death today, if I say so myself.
Hey.
I should have did the whole outfit. I should have did the whole show without my hat on, but I just wanted to bring it out to show that I have a product to show. I mean, he's made a brother that looks like he's balding, like he can still be balling. You know what I'm saying? Yep, that just happened.
Wait.
I'm talking about my man.
So mad.
At DJ Zo Blade. That is at DJ ZO_Blade. That is my barber. You can find him on Booksy and make your appointments there. He does facials, he does clean lineups, haircuts, beard trim ups, everything, and it's all in the comfort of his crib. I mean, his customer service is amazing. Prices are very reasonable, and I'm telling you, man, when you're there, you're at home. And this young brother is truly, truly talented, not only with the clippers, but with the camera as well. He takes great photos, and man, he's an up-and-coming DJ. You know, we talked a bit about him before, earlier in the episode, as well as he was kind of the basis of this conversation today. about communication and being there for those that need it, So I just want to big up my brother at DJ Zoe Blade, Alonzo, my man. I'm telling you, man, this guy is a gift. He is so great with his clippers. I'm trying to tell you, man. He evened me up, made sure that he brought everything together nice and neat, and it's so easy to book. If you go to Booksy and look up Alonzo, and you'll find him on there. He's in San Jose. I don't put his address out there like that, but I'll just say this again. Look up on Booksy, 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 and you can make your appointments on there. Also, you can find him on IG at DJZO_Blade, BLADE. You find him right there on IG. Check out his work, check out his pictures, check out his cuts and everything, and just really feel the vibe. You know what I'm saying? So Black-owned business, shout out, salute, goes out to you, my brother. Thank you so much for keeping me laced, fresh and tight, keeping this ball man looking right. You know what I'm saying? I feel it. I'm so proud of it, and I thank you.
Hey, I might have to check out the brother if I want to line up with the goatee.
You definitely should. And get your facial, man. I'm trying to tell you. Take care of that great looking skin of yours. You know what I mean? Like, it's dope. He does the black mask and everything. You getting your hair cut, get your black mask. He'll even do a little massage for you. He has like a massage machine that he does on your shoulders and everything. That's all a part of the package. You can see the different packages that he has on there. That's the deluxe package. I spend on the deluxe package sometimes and treat myself, and he makes you feel at home. And I can't say that enough. He makes you feel at home. BOOKSY, that's Booksy. And I'm looking him up right now as Alonzo Granger, Alonzo, Grainger. You can book him on Booksy. He is a 5-star. He's a 5.0 rating with 108 reviews. I'm telling you, as simple as this. I just clicked once, got to his name, and you can see he has a fade, beard, and straight razor shave. He has kids haircuts 14 and under. The deluxe package comes with a hot towel, face, and back massage with a black mask. So you get all that done. So when I say face, that means he does your beard too. All right. And then he has other things with just a lineup as well. He has a couple of different packages. I'm telling y'all. Check him out. This brother is super talented and he is a great time. And you know what? We want to support young Black entrepreneurs who are out there trying to make life changes and trying to do good in this world. All right. So again, my man, Alonzo Granger, find him on IG again at DJZO_BLADE. Or look him up on Booksy, BOOKSY, under Alonzo Granger Haircuts.
Hey, thank you, brother. Let's head on back. Ooh, here we are. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you very much. So, my question for the Discord is, what are the types of conversations you want to hear, mainly from us, but just in life in general? What conversations do you want to hear more of, and what are conversations you want to hear be had?
And on that note, I would like to thank our Discord and our patrons. Thank you guys so much for your love and your patronage. We truly appreciate it. Man, we just love what we do, and we love talking with you. So please come on out, join the Discord conversation, hit us up on IG. We would love to hear from you.
All right. If you want to continue in this conversation outside of here, feel free to hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at Have a Drink Cast, and make sure to use the hashtag HADcast. HADcast. No, and make sure you use the hashtag HADcast. That way we can see whatever it is you're posting. If you have certain kinds of conversations that you are having and you're really feeling like you're getting to like the depths of them, you're having deep, meaningful conversations with people, if you feel comfortable with it, go ahead and hashtag HADcast on there. We would love to see these kinds of things. We want to see the kind of things we talk about be modeled into the world, not just by us, but by those that believe in the things that we are spewing. Also, feel free to check us out on TikTok. We've got one video, and we're kind of fighting with TikTok in order to get our song on there because we own the license to it. But find us on there as well at Have a Drink Cast.
This has been beautiful, man. Oh, and by the way, I'm
All
back
right,
on the
man.
West Coast, the best coast. I'm back home, y'all. If y'all
It's
can't
about that
tell,
time.
you see this green screen behind me, that means I'm home, y'all. I'm home for a while. Yee!
Hey,
Hey,
got the beautiful
hey,
green because he
hey.
just made that beautiful green.
It's all right.
Hey, I know, bad joke.
Don't give him that.
Oh, I know, I'm funny. Too late. It's too late. They gave it to me. I do want to say, I want to thank you to everyone who's listening, everyone who's been listening, everybody who's listened to us from day one. If this is your first time listening to us, thank you so very much for being a part of this. We really appreciate you all giving us your hearts and minds for however long we have recorded and aired out there. But it's a lot of times it's hard to feel, as we've said, like our what we're saying, our opinions, our thoughts, our hearts, our minds are being valued, or even want to be heard by anybody. And so to see and know that anybody is listening to this out there, we greatly appreciate you, and we would love to hear and be able to give back to you all as well. So I mean, like we said, hop into the Discord, share us. If you want to, even if you're just having a hard day, feel free to just reach out to us on IG, slide into our DMs. We don't mind. Just really take that leap. Don't take the stairs. Just leap into it. Trust and believe. You will start soaring, because there are going to be people around that are going to make sure that if you're falling, we're going to at least have a handout to help throw you back up into the air so that you can go out and be the full version of you that you are. Heart, mind, and soul. All right. It's about that time?
It's about that time.
All right. Raise your glass, raise your glasses. All right, kings, queens, and royals in between. I want to thank y'all for joining us again on another successful episode of the Have a Drink podcast, where we invite y'all back to sit, think,
Peace.
and have a drink. That's been us. Peace. Oh, stop it.